Hi, my name is David Perdue, and I'm the Trademark Wahoo. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about registering names. And I've had many clients come in and say, I've registered my name and someone is using it. What can be done? And the answer is the typical lawyer answer, which is it depends. Rights to a trademark are established by using the mark. So if we have two people using the same mark or marks that are too similar, one of them is infringing the trademark of the first user. A name can be registered as a domain name, for example, trademarkwahoo.com. That establishes a right to use that address on the internet for any content that you might want to post. However, it does not establish any trademark right in the name. Trademark rights, again, are used to indicate the source of a product or a service. So if I register the domain name and I'm not selling a product on the domain name or with the trademark on it, or not providing a service in connection with the trademark, then all I have is a registered domain name. I have no right to stop anybody else from using a similar name. Obviously, if I've registered trademarkwahoo.com, no one else can register that domain name, but they can register names that are almost identical. As I said, the first user of a trademark establishes a right in the trademark. What about a trade name registration or registering the name of your LLC? Merely creating an LLC under a given name does not establish a right to stop other people from using that name. It simply means that you've received authorization from the Secretary of State to use that LLC name in Ohio, where I am, or another state where you might be. It is only when you start providing a service or selling a product under a name that the name becomes a trademark and establishes a right to stop other people from using a confusingly similar trademark. When is a trademark confusingly similar? Similarity between two trademarks has to take into account similarity between the trademarks themselves and the product or service provided under that trademark. Trademark Wahoo is a service mark that I'm using now in connection with my video blog posts. If someone decided to sell plumbing supplies under the trademark Wahoo, then there wouldn't be a conflict, because even though the trademarks are identical, the services products are so different that no one would think that Trademark Wahoo plumbing supplies have anything to do with Dave Perdue's Trademark Wahoo video blog posts. As the services would come closer and closer, for example, my Trademark Wahoo mark for video blogging would be infringed by someone using Trademark Wahoo in connection with a website that has trademark information. The marks are identical and the services are very closely related. The problem that a lot of entrepreneurs face when starting a business arises when the name is selected and becomes registered as part of a domain name, or is the name under which an LLC is formed, again, does not establish any right to stop other people from using that name in connection with her product or her service. It's only when the mark is being used that a trademark right is established. Because trademarks indicate the source of a product or a service, you can't have a trademark right until you're providing a service or you're selling a product. What's an entrepreneur to do? Once she's come up with a name to use as a trademark, but hasn't begun trading under that name, there is some risk that someone else might swoop in and take that trademark name and use it with his product or his service. And if the two names are confusingly similar, then our young entrepreneur or old entrepreneur has lost out to the other person who's using that name as a trademark first. This problem can be avoided using the federal trademark registration system, and specifically applying to register a trademark using the intent to use application basis. No one can complete the process of federal registration for a trademark until she's using it in connection with her services or on her product. However, an application for federal trademark registration can be made and will establish a first use of that trademark as of the filing date, provided that she continues through the process, adopts the trademark, and starts using it on her product or in connection with her service. So when you file an intent to use application, you're in effect reserving that trademark until such time as you begin doing business. And when you do, that first use date will trace back to the filing date of your intent to use application, and that will prevent interlopers from coming along and establishing a trademark right in a mark that you've selected but haven't begun using. In other videos, I will be discussing the trademark application process and specifically the intent to use application. I'm also going to take you through the actual process of electronically preparing and filing an application for federal trademark registration. Please come back and see how that's done. And remember, you'll do better in Toledo.